Thank you, Rachel, for those warm and kind words. Lord Lieutenant, Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies, gentlemen and graduates. It really is a privilege and a pleasure to be standing here before you today. In 1983, I left school at 18 years old with little sense of direction, intending to take a year off before resuming my studies. At least that was the official line. Personally, I was not inclined to study formally any further at that point in time. 1 year became 2, 2 years became 3, and so on. With hindsight, this was perhaps a mistake, but the nights spent in my bedsit in Leeds were punctuated with learning from the many books available at Leeds City Library, and in particularly the Arts Library. Eventually, the necessity to make something of myself gave birth to an entrepreneurial journey which was remarkable in so many ways. The rapid growth of what has started, as you heard, just as an idea, driven by a desire to make the world a better place. The many problems that needed solving, the new skills that needed learning on the hoof. There are so many valuable lessons that I learned from this, which I now seek to share. So my journey has become an inspiration to so many of the people who have heard my story. And having been deprived of a university degree for more than 30 years, it is a wonderful feeling to receive this honour from York St John University, an institution with its origins in training teachers within the Anglican Church. An organisation which, much like the business I founded, has evolved, reinvented itself, and seized the opportunities at its disposal to become the well-respected institution that it is now and has been for the last decade and more. I recall as a child an uncle who was an entrepreneur explaining to me that he had never been to university, leaving school at a young age. He claimed that his success had been all the harder due to his lack of education. At the time, I didn't believe him. He was someone that I admired and would like to emulate. But he was right. Education opens doors. One can succeed without it, as I did, but the journey is that much more difficult. So although I personally never attended university, I would always advocate for higher education and champion its benefits. Now, in some small way, it is as if the errors of my misspent youth have been repaired. These days, with my main career behind me, and as you have heard, a very plural career involved with charities, startups and student education, I take the time to learn something new every single day. At the very least, I have a work of fiction and a factual book on the go. My passion for knowledge has never been stronger. I'm surrounded by books, and I like nothing better than to learn from them. I will always take the time to meet anyone who is interested in my work, as there is always something one will learn from a stranger, and one's life is far richer as a consequence. Hearing the testimony of someone's experience is something I relish. So my advice to all of you is to learn and to keep learning. There is never a point at which the need stops. There is always more to know and more to gain. I will conclude with some words of wisdom from a remarkable man, a man whose life's work touched many people, myself included. A rabbi. His influence extended far beyond his own faith and resulted in the foundation of something called Education Day in the United States of America. At the inaugural opening event in 1978, Rabbi Schneerson, also known as the Lubavitcher Rebbe, or just Rebbe, said these words about education. Education in general should not be limited to the acquisition of knowledge and preparation for a career, or in common parlance, to make a better living. And we must think in terms of a better living, not only for the individual, but also for society as a whole. The education system must therefore pay more attention, indeed the main attention, to the building of character, with emphasis on moral and ethical values. Need one be reminded of what happened in our lifetime in a country that ranked among the most foremost in science, technology, and philosophy? Ladies and gentlemen, in the divided and polarized times we live in, education has the ability, and indeed the responsibility, to unite and to heal, to turn out rounded individuals who will benefit themselves, but who will also benefit wider society. People who will recognize hateful elements for the negative influence they are. People who will build a better future for all of humanity. I feel sure that this wonderful institution, with its history firmly planted in social justice, is rising to that challenge. And I feel both proud to be a part of it and truly blessed to accept an honorary doctorate in business administration from it. And I would also like to extend my congratulations to all of you who have graduated today. Thank you very much.